Hey, St. Peter's, it's Father Quinn. Coming to talk to you about something that I know is in the air and is on people's minds right now, and that has to do with finances at this time. For some of us, and for some of you, it is a stressful time, but you're working from home. You are able to do the job that you're supposed to do, get paid as you normally get paid. And while no one would call this life as usual, it's something close to that. Some of you, that's not the case. Some of you are dependent on service industry work, on hourly wages, on things like that, which are slowly being trimmed away. And some of you are in some in-between place where for now it's okay, but what does it look like in a few weeks? I just want to name that sort of anxiety and name that we're feeling it at the church as well. What does it look like for a church that still wants to continue doing formation and mission and outreach, and yet not to have weekly meetings where folks give? And so I want to kind of combine those two questions, those two thoughts, and say, one, if you are in that category of not terribly stressed out right now, because of the kind of job that you have, the kind of work you're able to do, I want to encourage you to be the kind of person who is looking out for maybe some of your neighbors who aren't in that boat. To look out for those who are going to suffer because of cuts to hours and loss of business. And I also want to encourage folks in that boat where you feel a little more secure, to be generous at this time in the way that you're giving to the church. St. Paul in the 2 Corinthian letter is talking about, in many ways, finances at one point. And his word to the church about giving, and I think giving to the church, but I think we can extend this out to the wider world, is he says that I do not mean that there should be relief for others and pressure on you. He's talking to wealthier, better off folks in the Corinthian church. But it is a question of a fair balance between your present abundance and their need, the church in Jerusalem. He's trying to get them to give some money to the church in Jerusalem, so that their abundance may be for your need, in order that there may be a fair balance. So I want to encourage you to think about that at this time. Some of you have gifts that you've been given in the way that you receive your income, the way that you make your living. I believe this is a time when God calls the church to be generous. So God calls you to be generous. To St. Peter's, I hope, for sure. But also to your friends, your neighbors, those who are going to suffer loss at this time. It's a question of fair balance. I pray that you use the abundance that you have been given, not in the way of hoarding, not in the way of keeping it to yourself, but in sharing. If you are looking for ways to continue giving to the church, we have a PayPal that we've been using for a year plus now that is still active and up, and a really good way to give. It doesn't require us to make a deposit and those kind of things. It can all be done remotely. So if you would like to find ways to give to the church, and maybe you're used to coming and dropping your check in the offering plate, I would ask that you consider at this time using that PayPal option, and we'll attach a link to wherever this video is posted. I do hope you continue to be well in the coming days, and I hope that you will be in touch if you have any needs that I need to give attention to. May God bless you and yours this day and always. Amen.